This is episode. Let's talk about what number is
We're live.
No,
Okay.
we got to start over.
It's Whitney Wiley and Coach Melody, and we are here with you live. Welcome. It's all good.
Hello,
It's all
welcome.
good. It's all
This is
good.
just part of technology, everybody.
Right?
Part of technology.
Having fun. We're having fun. So we are here today with leading a healthy workplace, and you're right. It's episode number 8. I'm so excited that we're going to touch on this topic today, Coach. You know, I've been seeing lots of articles, lots of discussions. I've been getting questions, and I'm sure you've been getting questions as well as we continue longer and longer with people working at home, right? That the lines are being blurred between work and home. And so today we're going to talk about balance. And my first question to you actually is whether or not you think balance is possible.
You know what, Whitney? That is, and hello, everyone. It's great to be with you again. I am Coach Melody with Unwrap You, and yes, I think that balance is possible. It's just that we have to make it possible and make it a reality in our life. I tell my clients all the time, like, you are in control of what you do. You're in control of your mind, your behavior, the way you set your day. And it's really imperative that you sit down and think that out, because we're all going through different things. And even for me, I think it's important to be transparent. Yesterday, I was just having a rough time. Like, it just felt like for 3 months, I've been going at it really hard. And all of a sudden, it's like, this is not getting ready to end soon. Like, I'm just over it.
Right.
It's important for us to acknowledge that. And that's part of the balance as well, because for me, I wake up, I have a routine. And right now, routine really is important, because then you don't have to think about it.
Yes.
I pray, meditate, I get ready. I take a long walk. This morning I did 3 miles, and then I come home, get dressed, and get prepared for my day. That is considered balance for me. I've already figured out what I'm eating for the rest of the day, when I have meditation, what other presentations I have today, and just really having it to where I'm like with a new mindset. This morning I woke up like, no, I will not have another tomorrow, because it's about balance and being able to say it's okay to be in this place momentarily, everyone. It's just important we don't stay there. And that's what I try to tell people that I'm working with in the workplace or wherever, that you just do not stay there. Does that make sense, Whitney?
I think it makes perfect sense. And I love the fact that you said what it means to me, right? Or how you define it. And I think that is the biggest key. Some people want to say there is no such thing as work-life balance. I'm like you, I believe there is. I don't really think it matters what we call it, whether it's balance or harmony or integration. You have to figure out what it looks like for you, and then put boundaries around your decisions and stick to it. And as it relates to workplaces, that the things that are important, if you are, whether you are an employee or you are the person who's leading your workplace culture, is to communicate the importance of finding balance and being healthy and making healthy choices. And that's where Coach Melody and I come in, because we can help you create the programs and the conversations with your employees that helps them find the balance, the integration, the harmony in their lives, so that they can just bring their best selves to the workplace every day.
You made a really important point. A harmony in your life, balance, it really can be done. And I do understand that people have different parameters, different things that are in their lives. Like for me, I don't have any children at home right now. So for a mom or a dad out there who's balancing 2, 3, multiple children at home that you have to care for, in addition to going to work, in addition to their schoolwork, it's just everybody has a different life. So I always say, let's sit back and reflect and see what that looks like and how we can fit you in. it's just important to make sure that you are fitting yourself in with all of the other, all the other things are pressures of the world or things that you have to do within the course of a day. And it's not easy every single day, but I really do believe that it can be done. And sometimes it does take an outside source to say, hey, let me look at this. Let's build your day. Let's make sure that you're putting into it, and let's make sure that you're creating harmony or balance or boundaries. I've talked a lot about that lately, because if you look up and think about it, people are all over the place, and then not having those, if it's email or if it's up all night watching TV or social media, like whatever that is for you. I think even if you don't do it 100%, you can make sure that you're just striving to do better every day.
Right.
You get to the point where you're comfortable and you're happy with the feeling that it brings, because it really is important.
Right. And each day can look different, which is another point, right? I'm with you. I love routine. I start my day with routine. I try to end my day with a routine, not as consistent with my end of the day routine as the beginning of the day. But I think routine and structure helps to create the boundaries and actually the space that allows you to get done what you want to get done, and then put the other stuff in its proper place in terms of your values and priorities. And I'm a big believer that when you're clear on your boundaries and priorities, and if self-care and balance or harmony or whatever you want to call it is one of your priorities, you're going to find a way to make that happen. And it's the same thing in corporations and companies and with your employees. The values that you set, if balance in your employee's life is important, that's going to be how you live out your culture. You're not going to be sending emails at 2:00 in the morning expecting people to answer them. So if you're taking actions and doing activities that are counter to what you say your values are or the priorities are, you send mixed messages to employees, and that's what creates the angst and their inability to feel like they can actually have some sense of balance and harmony in their lives.
Well, I keep saying this, and I will say it to the end. It starts from the top.
Right.
So the president, the VP, the executive team, this is a culture that has to be embedded, especially now. People need flexibility. I'm seeing a lot of it. Like, I'll be on Zoom calls, and it's so cool. Like, a dog will run through, her kid will pop up on, and everyone is okay with it, because they know, like, you just can't shove your kid aside, or the dog run through. I mean, it's okay. And I have this new motto. It's kind of like, no worries, like, don't worry about the small stuff. If it's really something that you don't have to be pressured with, then don't sweat it. And that way, we can actually operate in the sense of, not making a big deal out of everything. That, we don't want to increase stress levels and all that. We really want to work on, creating a whole healthy inside out you, right?
Exactly. And you mentioned yesterday, struggling a little bit. I want to say a couple of weeks ago, I ran up against probably the same wall. And it's one that has happened periodically throughout my life when I've been pushing. It happened when I was studying for the bar, 20 years ago. And it's one of those things where we can only push so far before we break. And that's why it's so important to make self-care a priority, to exercise, to eat well, to meditate and pray, read a book, turn off the TV, all of these things, not answer emails in the middle of the night or feel like you need to. All of those things are part of self-care. And a few weeks ago when I ran into that, it kind of hit my wall. I was like, you know what? I'm turning off the TV. I'm turning off social media. I'm just going to focus on me for a couple of days. And it felt amazing. Now, on the natural, I have a day where it kind of ebbs and flows, but I build in self-care every single day. But I was working on something and I was just pushing a little too hard, a little too long. and it caught up with me. So I understand exactly how you felt yesterday. I'm glad you're back and feeling great. Do you have any final words you want to share before we wrap up?
Well, honestly, you just nailed it. I mean, self-care is everything more than ever now. And I'm the same as you. I do have a routine that includes me. And I just say, find those little getaways where you can take those moments. Sometimes I'll just come in the office, cut everything off. I'll go outside, just walk up and down the street. Just sometimes you really do need to just get a different environment. And so the points that you made were very good. And you guys, we've already talked about some of the topics in previous videos. Take a few minutes and go and listen. They're really good sound advice that you can use and incorporate right now, because that's what it's about. We just really trying to help everyone stay healthy and whole, not just through this pandemic, but beyond, because we don't focus enough on our well-being, but we give. Make sure that you're giving to yourself. If you don't take anything else out of this, remember, Coach Melody said, give to yourself. If that means 15, 30 minutes, but it can be done. And if you can't figure it out, call us.
I love that. Those are good words to end on. And I would just say, encourage your employees to step outside, take a walk.
Yes.
Take a walk, just breathe, get some fresh air, take a walk, step away from the computer or whatever's going on, and just take a moment for themselves. And you do the same as well. So thank you for joining Coach Melody and myself. I'm Whitney Wiley for Leading a Healthy Workplace, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.